Hi, my name is Ali, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate Red Hat Edge Manager. Um, I have written a blog post about this, and I'll leave the link to this post in the description below. So what I have done, I have a OpenShift 4.20 cluster. I have already deployed the Red Hat Edge Manager on this cluster. The deployment process, I have described that in detail in this blog post here. So please go have a read in here. What I'm going to do is once I deployed the Red Hat Edge Manager, I exposed it into the UI, the fleet management UI, and this is where the Red Hat Edge Manager is showing up. So I've already defined a few configurations on it, such as the repository where I would like to get the desired state configuration from. I have authenticated, deployed the authentication to this. I also have deployed a resource sync object. So as you can see, it's in sync, and that has in result created this fleet definition or this fleet object. And in this fleet object, I already have one devices in it. So if I go and see the fleets in, sorry, the devices in this fleet object, that's a device that is already there. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire up a new device which will come under as pending approval, and we'll see what happens to that device. That will be seeing Edge Manager in action. So without further ado, let's start the device. So the device that I'm using here, I'm simulating that in QEMU, and it is a bootc rail 9.7 image. Again, how the definition of this device I have written in the blog post, and I have reference to this. So this is the Docker file definition. It's all linked in this blog post. So now that I have the device up and running, I only have a placeholder message showing up on the device's browser and displayed on it. So this is going to simulate a kiosk device that is running at the edge locations. So what I'm going to do is inside, if I look at the devices, I can see there is one device that came up just a minute ago, and I will go ahead and approve this device. So I'll just give it a name. I would say kiosk 2 and add a label. So this label needs to be matching with the same label as the fleet. So if I look at the labels that is applied for the fleet, it's the device selector is fleet equal to default. So that's how I'll tag my devices. So let me try that again. Let's call it kiosk 2. I'll add a level. I'll say fleet equal to default. So it grabs the name of the fleet that is already in the system. So this tagging is correct. So if I so I've just added the kiosk here. So notice that it's initial bootc, and what is going to happen is it should go in an update mode, and it's updating the configuration that I put in the fleet management. While it's doing that, let's look at what are the configuration that I put in here. See if I try to go in view the fleet object details. So in the device template, as you can see, I have a configuration. This is to remove the hold off. There was quite a lot of log that I was seeing in the terminal. So that configuration is for that one. Then I've got a file permission that's there. I've got a writable storage, so that's the area where I'm going to do a file permission. Then this is the refresh hook. So after it updates, it will refresh the page, and then there is mod.de, so it's just a friendly message. Once I log in, it will say this system is managed by FlightCTL. And finally, I've got an app that's being deployed. So this is the front end of the app, so it's coming from the Git repository, and the path is this. And I've explained it in details what that path looks like. So if I bring up that repository, if I could quickly show what that path looks like. So this is what the path is, and kiosk. So inside rem kiosk, I've got a directory structure, which is var lib kiosk html, and that's where I'm going to add these 4 files. That is essentially my front end. So that's the configuration. I'm putting it in here. It's going to come from this repository, which we saw earlier, which is this repository here that is in sync. So if I go into view mode again, inside device template, and finally I am deploying a container application in there. So the image of that application is going to come from here. It's going to expose port 3000 and so on and so forth. The reason these are all in read-only mode and I cannot edit them is because this is essentially coming from a config as code, which is also in this repository. So if you recall, in this repository, I've got a default fleet definition in this directory, which is this thing here. So I've defined all of that in config as code in the repository. Okay, so that's done. Let's have a quick check of our device status. Okay, so it's reporting the device that we added is kiosk 2, and it's reporting that it is online and in healthy state. So that means it has finished applying those updates that I've defined in the fleet management. So if I open up my Kimu, and we should see that the front end is now up to date. It's getting the data from the back end, and I could use it in my kiosk machine, and so on. So that concludes my quick and short demonstration of Red Hat Edge Manager. There is few more things that you can do from this from the devices that gets registered, which is one, I can see the definition that's being generated for this after it inherits the fleet as well. I could see the events that are coming up, and I could see the terminal. So in this case, the terminal will not work for me because essentially what is happening in my case is I am running the device in my home network, and this fleet management or my OpenShift cluster is hosted in the cloud. So I do not have any direct route from cloud to my home network. So that's why this terminal won't work for me. But if you've got connectivity, this should show up in here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That concludes my short demonstration of the Red Hat Edge Manager. Thank you.